Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. Thank you. This time I'd like to ask Trustee Gomez Heitzberg to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
And salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Gomez Heitzberg. At this point, we have our next item, which is the report out of actions taken in closed session. There were no actions taken in closed session this morning. So that brings us to number 5, public comments. At this time, the public may address the Board of Trustees on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board that is not on the agenda. The public may address the Board of Trustees on each of the agenda items as those items are considered. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes per topic. 20 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of a majority of the board, these times may be extended. Each person who addresses the board must first be recognized by the presiding officer. Comments must be addressed to the board as a whole and not to individual members or district employees. The board and staff are not obligated to comment on or respond to or address comments by the public. At the opening of this meeting, names and agenda items were taken for public comments. So are there any additional speakers who wish to submit their speaking request form at this time? Okay, if there are none, I'll go ahead and proceed. Our first speaker, Paula Dahl.
I guess I'll sit. I do better standing, but I appreciate the opportunity which I have to address you today and appreciate your work and the efforts that you put in on behalf of all of us. Recently, I was doing some research. 94% of women that are C-suite executives, so CEOs, CFOs, COOs, or CIOs, were previously female athletes. 94%. Today, I have a shirt on that says, "The future is female coaches," that I got from an association called We Coach, because we're seeing women drop out of this field at an exponential rate. And one of the things that I want to address is my concerns about that and also concerns about culture. So I addressed the board a month ago about some Title IX inequities that we had with regard to coaching positions, and that we've replaced 4 of the men's positions in a full-time capacity, and the 2 women's positions, women's soccer that is 3 years been out of compliance now, and women's basketball that is just currently out of compliance. And I discussed the fact that I've tried to work with several individuals along the way to make this corrected. In the process, there have been some things that have taken place. And as a result of that, I would kind of like to address the culture and the things that I have experienced and seen in our athletic department and some of the ways that the things that are taking place. To start with, I would like to talk about the time that I supported Sandra Serrano when she was fighting for her contract. During that time, I took the opportunity to create T-shirts that said Team Sonia. I did that on my own. That was my own idea with a good friend of mine, and we put it all together. Afterwards, within our department, there was a grievance that was filed against me. As a result of that grievance, one of the things that they said was possible embezzlement, thinking that we may have used athletic funds for the purchase of those T-shirts. As a result, that whole thing went on for quite some time and did not need to be that way. Later on, when I had conversations with individuals, it was made clear to me that the reason why that happened was because they did not want Sandy Taylor in her position. And those are things that we have dealt with for quite some time. Recently, we had our big Title IX event, which I alluded to previously. It was incredible. We had Cheryl Miller there. Cheryl Miller, the greatest women's basketball player of all time, in my opinion. And she was there. What a great opportunity for our female athletes to come and attend and participate in our athletic department. When I brought those things forward, I was told by my athletic director and dean, Reggie Bolton, that he would not pay for any of our athletes or staff to go to such a thing that was on our campus. Now, I'm grateful for the fact that Stan Green recognized the importance of it and made sure 175 of our female athletes and coaches from the high school level attended. Now, the irony of that is just recently, I received an email stating that they would that they had a table for the Clifford Bradford fundraiser event for athletics, that they had 8 rounds of golf and 16 for dinner. When I looked up what that sponsorship cost that we paid was $5,000 for someone who sponsors us. The point I'm trying to make is our culture has not been great in supporting women. Now, since we met last time, there have been strides made, in my opinion, to keep me pacified and to keep me quiet. The last one just happened today. At 11:11 this morning, there was an email that was sent out. I was in class. Thank heaven someone sent it to me. The email said that they are now going to hire, they've run a position, an interim position for a director of men's basketball, a director of women's basketball, and a director of baseball. They completely forgot women's soccer. So once again, it's 2 male positions, 1 female position. The irony of that is that position, the email came out today at 11:11, and it closes Thursday at midnight. I then promptly reached out to who played for me and was my assistant coach and now current coach, Rosebrook Hunt. And I said, Rosebrook, do you know about this position? Her response, no. I immediately then reached out to Aaron Chavez and I said, Aaron, do you know about this position? His response, no. We can do these things the right way. My request from the beginning was to just make the positions the same until it could be fixed correctly. But instead, let's try to cut off at the pass. Let's do a quick fix. And the irony is Aaron Chavez and Kirk Townsend are both on contract. So how does that work? How do you fly a position that's an interim position for someone who's already been hired and signed a contract? I don't quite understand what is happening. We have some serious issues that need to be addressed. Don't try to just quiet us. You know, I am in 100% support of Bakersfield College. I want us to succeed. I have not blown this up in the media. Let's please step back and look at the things that are happening. When I hear about women that are being threatened and told to be quiet by our Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, I am concerned about that. I am concerned about the things that are going forward. Now, a solution, here's my solution. She's here, probably won't appreciate me saying this. Bring Sandy Taylor in. She'll help you fix this stuff. She knew everything that happened when we hired an interim position to start, a professional expert to start with. Please, let's look at the things that are happening on our campus and in our district. We can be better. We can do better. Women athletes fill serious positions when they graduate. They are change agents. To have those coaches on campus full-time makes a significant difference. So we cannot forget women's soccer. We cannot forget our athletes. They are so important. And my question is, what is the message you want for your daughters, your granddaughters, your nieces, the women that are looking up to you, our female board of trustees, and the example that you're setting? What message do we want to send today? Do we want to change a culture and have women be recognized and not silenced? Or do we want to continue the way we are? Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Pamela Kelly.
Thank you. I don't know if I talk into this or how am I talking into it now? Okay. First of all, I've never done this, so I appreciate a lot being afforded the opportunity to come talk to you and to deal with things today. Makes me a little nervous, so I wrote out what I would like to say. The situation that is occurring now is one that is not new to Bakersfield College. It is a culture that has been integrated into every part of our campus, the community, and the athletic department. For as long as I've been employed, and I think I'm the longest employee at Bakersfield College because it's been for 42 years, inequities have existed in budgets, opportunities, and coaches' salaries. If one asks questions or brings them up, you are just causing problems. It needs to stop, and things need to become equitable, and these situations need to change. We cannot continue to hide behind we have always done this, because what has been done is not right. The coaches who are impacted by lack of resources allocated to them are both women's coaches. One is a Black female and one is a Hispanic male, both of which groups we want to reach out to in employment. They need to have the same opportunities afforded to them financially, so not only can they be successful, but their students can as well. The case of salaries was addressed with the BC president in July, BC Human Resources representative in August, and until 1 hour ago, nothing had been done to remedy this situation. This is simply not right. Other situations are when one of the baseball assistants has a higher pay level than a softball assistant. It is not hard to find out about these situations, but there is no transparency as regards to salary or budgets. These were located by the fact we went on Transparent BC, and we could find those two instances. If you look closely at the BC EDAD report, you can see some of the discrepancies. BC has 10 men's sports, of which 7 have full-time employment. 8 teams are coached by men and 2 by women. I'm sorry, I lost my place. BC has 11 women's sports, 5 of which are coached by women and 6 of which are full-time. The numbers might seem a little skewed because of the coaches that coach 2 sports. For example, volleyball and beach volleyball. And in the example, cross country and track, I am the one person, I have 4 sports. So I have 2 men's and 2 women's, but I just divided it by sport. Doesn't mean we have more employees. We just have the numbers that way. What we are doing now is not only hurting the coaches employed, but it is hurting the students. If a coach in a like sport is not able to be on campus, they have to work obligations. This eliminates obligations of work. This eliminates the student having increased contact hours with the coach who could better monitor academic progress and success. In April 26th, there was a meeting in the athletic department with both the dean and the vice president there. Paula, who just spoke, and I were both verbally attacked to the point where I left. Paula had been previously named women's representative, and has since resigned that position because of the verbal attacks and the hostility at that meeting. It was, in my opinion, that is a position we need and needed to address women's issues. I would like to see a Title IX committee that focuses on athletics at the college and district level. We used to have one. I know this because I served on it. And I went to meetings in which one side was Sandra Serrano and the other side was Carl Bowser. That committee has been eliminated. This committee needs to function outside of HR because the situations show that we cannot trust HR to do what is best for our students and our faculty. Second, I would like to see equity in pay and in funding between men's programs and women's programs in both soccer and basketball. And third, I would like to see a transparency of the budgets, both for equipment, travel, coaches' salaries, and assistant coaches' salaries. I am asking the board to help remedy these situations. And as Paula said, you need to do this for your sisters, your nieces, your daughters, your granddaughters, or future women that you know that will be involved. This needs to happen, not so that coaches can ultimately have the same opportunity. This needs to happen so coaches can ultimately have the same opportunity as their counterparts. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Craig Neville.
Said also. Good afternoon. I want to thank you for this opportunity and for your time and allowing me to speak this afternoon. I'm here to speak for a few moments. I'm known to be long-winded, so I also wrote my comments down to not encroach on your time too much. I'm here this afternoon to speak for just a few moments about a good friend of mine, Matthew Garrett. I am here to stand up for Matthew Garrett, not only as an honorable father, husband, community member, but as a professor. I have seen personally over many years now, Matt's drive to achieve and his capacity to understand others. He is a defender of truth and justice. I personally, as a friend of his, admire his tenacity. Now, Matthew, in my opinion, he doesn't know I'm going to say this, could go find something else to do. He could uproot his beautiful family and push through somewhere else. Some other institution would greatly benefit, in my opinion, from his talents and abilities. He has an amazing drive, as I've mentioned, to overcome and endure, but he belongs here. I have been around him enough to see his passion for teaching at Bakersfield College, of which I'm proud to say I graduated from in 1995. It's been a long time, but I do remember it. I have personally participated with Matt in many community service events outside of the college environment. I have witnessed his kindness, his sincerity, and his passion to defend and uplift the downtrodden and the misunderstood. He instills hope, builds character in others while motivating them to achieve their best. As a longtime friend of Matt Garrett, I am deeply skeptical of the allegations of misconduct. He is not only a person of high character, but a wonderful teacher, as I've mentioned, who is knowledgeable and passionate. I've personally observed his teaching on many occasions, and I always leave those teaching environments curious to learn more and to expand my knowledge as he's been able to do for himself. So I'm grateful to his motivation for me personally. I am here this afternoon to urge you to restore Professor Garrett to the classroom. Again, as I conclude, Matthew Garrett is a good man who needs to get back to teaching the students at Bakersfield College. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, Alex Garcia. Digital aid.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, members of the board. I have a shared letter to present this afternoon. Thank you. We write to express genuine concern and disappointment over the dispiriting Facebook post shared by the Renegade Institute for Liberty at Bakersfield College on October 4th, 2023. It demeans and offends immigrants of Latinos in our community. Decent men and women of goodwill who believe in equality, inclusion, and respect for others, and especially our elected leaders, cannot remain silent in the face of such an expression of the bigotry coming from those associating with Bakersfield College. Outright expression of discrimination, blatant stereotypes, and degrading comments do more than perpetuate prejudice. They also do grievous harm to the social fabric of our campus, of the campus and our entire society. This type of speech has no place at Bakersfield College or anywhere else in our community. The specter of white people depicting illegal immigrants by sporting sombreros and fake mustaches is the equivalent in a much earlier era of white entertainers who performed in blackface while promoting racist stereotypes of African Americans. Such conduct was wrong then. It's wrong now. Therefore, we ask our distinguished body, we ask that this distinguished body publicly and unequivocally condemn this pitiful behavior and reaffirm Bakersfield College's commitment to promoting tolerance and appreciation for everyone's human dignity. Your prompt response to this request will be greatly appreciated by the undersigned Attorney at Law H.A. Sala, Attorney at Law Daniel Rodriguez, Attorney at Law David Torres, Connie Perez Andreessen, Linda Quinones Vaughn, Jay Tamsey, Dr. Mark Martinez, Andres Chavez, Council members Eric Arias, myself, Alejandro Garcia, Veronica Vasquez, Salvador Salorio Ruiz, Attorney at Law Edgar Aguila Socho, Magda Menendez, community members Magda Menendez, Matt Munoz, Librado Vasquez, Elizabeth Sanchez, Gabriela Gonzalez, and Attorney at Law Joel Andreessen, as well as Attorney at Law Xochitl Garcia. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to the board at this time? Hearing or seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion of this meeting and move on to number 6, preliminary items. A, approval of consent items, business services other than construction, agenda items 8A through 8E, business services, construction, agenda items 10A through 10YY, educational services, agenda items 12A through 12D, human resources, agenda items 14A through 14B. Move approval. We have a motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Trustee Scrivener?
There are a number of items in the consent agenda having to do with the county of Kern, so I'd like to, out of an abundance of caution, recuse myself from the consent agenda.
Thank you. With a motion and a second in place, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next item, B, approval of the September 14th, 2023 minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Scrivener. Any questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item is letter C, correspondence of the Board of Trustees and or communications. Chancellor Berg.
Thank you. Correspondence to the Board of Trustees has been received from Jan Lundy, Fred Einhardt, Mary Little, Barbara Jones, Andrew Hensel, Ralph Robas, Stephen Smalley, and a number of anonymous individuals, all relating to existing.
Thank you, Chancellor Berg. Next item is letter D, approval of the revised 2023-24 Board of Trustees calendar of meetings. The revised calendar includes a proposed change to the January board retreat from Thursday, January 18th, 2024 to Wednesday, January 24th of 2023. And I believe trustee Scrivener, you had an issue with the 24th date and was requesting that we move it to the 23rd. Is that correct?
I would respectfully request that we consider instead of moving from the 18th to the 24th, January 18th. Or
Any other comments or questions from members of the board?
We need to repost this then? Or we can amend the action.
If the January date is in question, can we approve the rest of the calendar? And circle back on the meeting?
What we can do is
the whole-
approve it with the change, and then if we have to change it.
We have to.
If it'd be better for me to amend my request to, to pull this from, so we can look at it. And do that as well. I understood at one point as we were looking at this, there were. We were looking at other changes, so I thought this might be a minor adjustment far ahead.
So what's the pleasure of the board? I can do it. Yeah. A motion to approve by trustee Meek with the change. Your second. Second by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Any further discussion or questions? There are none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item is letter E. Approval of the naming of the Bakersfield College new Renegade Athletic Complex weightlifting room to the Carl Bowser Performance Enhancement and Training Facility. President Watkins.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, President Agmalog and the Chancellor Berg. Bakersfield College is proposing the weight training room under the construction Renegade Athletic Complex be named the Carl Bowser Performance Enhancement and Training Facility. By naming this facility, we have the opportunity to honor Coach Bowser. Coach Bowser has made significant contributions to Bakersfield College and the greater community both on and off the field of competition. This action will enhance our identity and recognize our proud history that Coach Bowser has played a huge part in building. Since his retirement, Coach Bowser has helped raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for Renegade Athletics and served as an ambassador across this community. Historical narrative of Coach Bowser. A true Bakersfield College football legend, Coach Bowser led the Renegades as head football coach from 1984 to 1994. He guided BC to the 1988 national title with a victory in the Potato Bowl and was named California Community College Coach of the Year. Coach Bowser began his Renegade career as a water boy for the BC football team before becoming a standout player. First hired in 1967 as a physical education instructor and assistant football coach, he spent 11 years as the head football coach of the Renegade football program, posting a remarkable 83, 31, and 3 record. He was Conference Coach of the Year 4 times. He led BC to 6 conferences titles and appeared in 7 Potato Bowl games. He retired as athletic director in 1996 and is a member of the Bakersfield College Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you, President Watkins. Trustee Meek, do you have any comment?
Yes, I do. This request was sent to me by the community with many, many signatures in our community, which I forwarded to Chancellor Berg, which is President Watkins, and I'm very honored, a lot of respect and love today to offer the motion. Name the new Renegade Athletic Complex weightlifting room to the Carl Bowser Performance Enhancement.
Thank you, trustee Meek. I'll take that in the form of a motion. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by trustee Carter. Any further questions or discussion on the item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item, business services approval other than construction, letter A. Authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a lease agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Portable College and American Business Machines for copier rental. The term of the agreement is from August 1st, 2023 through August 1st, 2028. The cost of the district is not to exceed $141,388.20 to be paid from the GU 001 unrestricted fund.
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or discussion on the item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next is the authorization for the chief financial officer to approve an amendment to the Microsoft software license agreement between the Foundation for California Community Colleges and Microsoft. The term is from October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2024. The cost of the increase to the district is $134,053.80 to be paid from the GU 001 unrestricted fund.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Meek, seconded by trustee Corkins. Any discussion or questions? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item is letter C. This is the resolution to authorize an application by the Kern Community College District for the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Public Benefit Grant Program for calendar year 2024 to obtain funding for the purchase of a new electric, hybrid, or alternative fuel vehicle eligible under the grant. The total amount payable to the district is up to a maximum of $100,000 to be deposited into a new RP restricted program grant fund. We have a motion. Motion by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Scrivener. This is a roll call vote. It's a resolution. Jennifer, you poll the board.
No.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to the next item, letter D, authorization for the chief financial officer to approve an independent contractor agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Porterville College and Caption Consulting, Inc. to provide interpreting services to Porterville College's VSPS students. The term is from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. The cost of the district is not to exceed $180,000 to be paid from the GU 001 unrestricted fund.
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. It's a tie between trustee Gomez Heitzberg and trustee Jimenez. You want to flip a coin for it? Trustee Jimenez, any questions or comments on this item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item is letter E, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an interjurisdictional exchange agreement between the Kern Community College District and Rancho Santiago Community College District, acting on behalf of the California Community College Chancellor's Office for Michelle Smith to function as a visiting assistant vice chancellor for the chancellor's office. The term is from November 1st, 2023 through October 31st, 2025. The district will be reimbursed up to $367,200 to be deposited in the GU 001 unrestricted fund.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or discussion on this item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. That brings us to 9, business services approval. Letter A, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and Ken Smith Construction, Inc. for the Bakersfield College Campus Center and Dining Commons Courtyard Improvements Project. The term is from October 18th, 2023 through December 1st, 2023. The cost of the district is not to exceed $264,239 to be paid from the RP 397 HEERF fund.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Meek, seconded by trustee Corkins. Any questions or discussion on this item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next is letter B, approval of items 9C through 9XX, authorizing the chief financial officer to execute 47 construction agreements for the Bakersfield College Agriculture Building and Agriculture Accessory Building Project. Total cost of the district is not to exceed $43,310,025.48 to be paid from the MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund.
So moved.
Presentation, Mr. Jacoby, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just to remind the trustees that we've utilized this methodology for our Arvin project. And this is a construction management at risk. So we enter into all the contracts. We bid them all out. We enter into the contracts individually with each contractor. And then we assign the risk, that's to the construction manager, so construction manager at risk. Over to the construction manager. At that point in time, they take over the contracts and they're responsible for holding them accountable to delivering the services for that price. And so what we have here is we're entering into all the contracts, and you see the last item there is the assignment of all those contracts over to the construction manager who is going to be overseeing that project.
Thank you. Any questions on the presentation? Not, we have an motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second? Seconded by trustee Meek. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item, authorization for the chief financial officer to reject all bids for the Bakersfield College Welcome Center Landscape Improvements Project.
So moved.
We have a motion by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or discussion?
Hey, question.
Okay, trustee.
What bid you got within 600 and 250?
That's correct. We're in court. We're having some challenges in the bidding environment. But also I think in this case, some of the timing in which we wanted this to be done in a certain amount of time influenced the price significantly more than we anticipated. So we're revisiting the scope of the work that needs to be completed there. And the schedule to ensure that we can get a lot closer to the funding that we have scheduled available for this project.
I guess my question was, how do we arrive at
Typically that is conversations that happen with the architect and our construction managers in-house that are doing that based off of their experience. We're usually pretty close. We're definitely never this far off. So that is why we're asking to reject the bids, because we feel that they're out of line with what we can accomplish the work with.
Any other questions? Not, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next, item 11, educational services approval, letter A. Approval of the attached curriculum reports of courses, programs, certificates, and new community service education course offerings as part of the district's curriculum for Porterville College. We have a motion. There's a second.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions or discussion on this item? And you're seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a grant agreement between the Kern Community College District and the Foundation for California Community Colleges for the Career Catalyst Program to provide funding for paid energy work. The term of the agreement is September 13th, 2023 through December 31st, 2027. The amount payable to the district is up to $702,000, $383 to be deposited into various restricted program funds.
So moved.
We have a motion approved by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Any questions on the item? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next is C, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter in an agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracoso Community College and the Foundation for California Community Colleges for timely care for telehealth and telemental services. The term is from September 16th, 2023 through September 15th, 2025. The total cost of the district is $200,600 to be paid from the RP 388 restricted grant fund. We have a motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or comments? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to letter D, there's an authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a grant agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracoso Community College and the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office on behalf of the California Community Colleges Board of Governors for the Educational Services and Support Umoja Campus programs The term of this grant shall be from June 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025. The amount payable to the district is $150,000 to be deposited into the RP 170 Restricted Program Fund.
So moved.
We have a motion approved by trustee Gomez Heitzberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or discussion on the item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Next up is 13, Human Resources Approval. Letter A, adoption of resolutions authorizing payment to trustees absent from our last board meeting in September.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Corkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Jimenez. Any questions or discussion? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Next item is B, approval of the revised employment agreement for the interim chancellor. The proposed contract calls for a revised hourly compensation of $189.44 per hour effective May 1st, 2023. Consistent with enrolling all KCCD educational administrators into the required state teachers retirement system or CalSTRS. The interim chancellor has elected to comply with enrolling into CalSTRS effective May 1st, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion approved by trustee Meek and seconded by trustee Corkins. Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next up is committee ad hoc committee reports, report of foundation activities by trustee liaison. And first up is the board resource development facilities committee report. So the committee met on October 3rd and received an update on the Bakersfield College combined gym and field house construction. The full written report is attached to the agenda. Just to summarize, I'll go ahead and say that Mike Giacomini, Kern Community College District CFO, presented the committee with an update on some of the construction challenges the Bakersfield College combined gym and field house project has encountered to date. The construction schedule has been impacted by the amount of time DSA took to approve the project. This was primarily due to the COVID-19 shutdown while the project was in for their review. The second major schedule impact is a result of the need to reroute a utility corridor due to significant structural issues with the pool building that was identified during the demo phase of the modernization of those buildings. Costs of the project have also been increased due to the challenges associated with the pool building. The Resource Development Committee requested an updated plan to address the issues and the subsequent impacts to address delays and additional costs. The committee will convene at least every 2 months to discuss updates on the progress of the project. The chair has requested the chancellor receive daily updates on this project and any other issues that may arise in the project or others that the information be shared with the chair of the committee to determine if additional or sooner meetings of the committee shall occur. That's my report. Next item, B, Chancellor Search Committee update. Chancellor Gomez Heitzberg.
Yes, September 21st was the first date that the committee met. We had an orientation, reviewed the charge of the board to the committee, confidentiality, roles and responsibilities. We also reviewed the position requirements and ideal characteristics and the timeline that has been established in the upcoming deadlines for the selection process. September 22nd through November 2nd is the recruitment and application period. And the phrase that we've been using is the best consideration deadline for applications, but the position will remain open until filled. On the 23rd, the committee provided of September through the 9th, interview questions and presentation topics for the first level interviews. October 26th, we'll have a training and applicant review process, looking at a widened lens in our training process, and the semifinalist interview questions will be finalized. October 27th through November 7th, the committee will begin reviewing applications. November 6th, the week of November 6th, The applicants will have an electronic survey emailed them to invite. I'm going to read that again. Reading looked like it was so easy when I started this. The week of November 6th, 2023, electronic survey email to constituents to invite questions to be used in the confidential forums finalists. And the Board of Trustees will determine the finalist interview schedule and the last details of interview process and logistics. And then November 8th, the selection of the first level interviews for the committee meeting. We will meet to discuss the candidates on the first level interviews. We also have added an asynchronous video recordings of the candidates. So we'll have more than one opportunity to get to know the candidates who are applying for the chancellor's position. And then we'll discuss the interview question process. I think the most important thing is that we're on schedule.
Thank you, trustee Gomez Heitzberg. We'll move on to number 16, reports. Letter A, facilities report links. Are there any questions on the links that were provided to the board meetings? There are none. We'll move on to faculty reports.
Good afternoon. I'm Rebecca Baird, Academic Senate President for Porterville College. PC's Academic Senate met this past Friday to hear faculty presentations on their requests for new and replacement faculty positions. This year, it was the highest number ever. Faculty have expressed a lot of frustration over the small number of positions that PC gets each year. At a time when there is a push to return to in-person teaching following COVID, it's been difficult to make that happen without additional full-time positions or a large local adjunct pool to draw from. So as the district begins the process of determining positions for each college, please keep PC in mind. We're growing, we're innovative. We need the continued investment in our future. And that said, PC's faculty continue to do amazing things. I submitted my report to Board Docs last week, but just some highlights from that report. On Friday night, September 15th, Circle J Ranch hosted an astronomy family night. Professor John Satko was the astronomer on duty, operating the telescopes and teaching about the stars and planets. There are around 90 people in attendance, including many, many children and several of Professor Satko's former students. There was a nice write-up of it in the Porterville Recorder. Business and economics professor Elisa Queenan and engineering adjunct Beth Flynn just completed the Education Partnership for Internationalizing Curriculum Community College Faculty Fellowship with Stanford University. It culminated in an end of the year symposium where they presented their work. On Tuesday, October 3rd, the Porterville College Pride Club raised the Pride flag on campus in its second annual event. Pride Club advisor, Professor William Hughes, who won our Club Advisor of the Year last year, oversaw the event, and guests included former Pride Club advisor Anne-Marie Wagstaff. Professor Jeff Jacobs and the Administration of Justice program unveiled 2 police academy training vehicles to the college at the State of the College event last month. Input from students and the community informed the car's design and aesthetic. And one of the vehicles will be featured in the Veterans Day Parade, while the other will be displayed at Porterville Police Department's Trunk or Treat event for Halloween. These vehicles will be instrumental in training and educating tomorrow's future justice professionals. The Administration of Justice program also had its largest class ever begin this past week. Professor Jeff Jacobs started a photo gallery for the students as a keepsake, which was really cool. Professor Jeff Jacobs is also submitting our baccalaureate application in modern police science this week. We have a very strong application to present to the state, and it's very much in line with the intention of California Community College baccalaureate programs and legislation. Communication professor Ethan Hartzell is facilitator for Leading from the Middle, which is a leadership and DEI training program that brings California community colleges together to collaborate on projects that increase student success across the state. He is leading a convening this week at Cal Poly Pomona. Professor John Olmos with the Law and Justice Pathways Police Academy attended several community events this past month, including National Night Out. And members of the Law and Justice Pathway Police Academy attended a virtual reality training on October 12th with Apex officer to become more efficient with that system, which they currently have. Our counselor, Cody Ridenour, worked with community partners to establish a once-a-month veterans transitional workshop at Porterville College. The workshop interacts with veterans who recently transitioned from the military. And lastly, PC's Puente program is growing. This past month, they matched 25 students with 25 mentors from faculty, administration, classified staff, and the community. On the evening of October 10th, they held a Noche de Familia, bringing in students and their families to meet the mentors, to learn more about the program, and just to socialize. So lots going on at PC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. So from the BC Senate, Academic Senate, we've had several meetings this year and there's a written report attached. And we're communicating and collaborating with various groups around campus, especially as we continue accreditation work, more specifically like our decision-making process review, various college plans. And so appreciative to administration, classified, and students as we work through all these different groups. And then just to highlight some events that faculty are involved in or have been involved in, we had the Performing Arts Department hosted a creative music, that should say summit. And then we had the Accessibility Capability Maturity Model visit BC and look through all of our programs there. And then also we have the annual Kern Shakespeare Festival. There's still time to catch some shows if you want to. And then we have the HBCU Caravan Tour coming to Bakersfield College. So that'll be exciting for our students. And then we have different series of talks, and we've had showcases of our students in collaboration with CCD on their research in the STEM area. And we've sent groups of faculty and classified administrators together to learn about more work in the DEI areas, as well as accessibility. And then BC Padrinos and the Office of the President hosted Latino Community Leaders Breakfast at BC. And so that was a wonderful event to attend as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports?
This won't be long, so I won't sit down. President Aguilar, trustee members, and Chancellor, please announce that we'll have the ratification vote on the recent collective bargaining agreement. It opens tomorrow morning and closes Thursday night. And I will form the results as soon as they get certified. Then we'll move on to other things. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, classified reports.
Good afternoon, board members, President Agmalog, Chancellor Burke, for the opportunity to report out to you all. I very much appreciate that. Just a reminder, I'm Christopher Glazer. I'm the CSCA chapter president for chapter 336 for the district and Bakersfield College. And I just wanted to report out a few CSCA updates. This first one may sound like inconsequential and maybe a little bit small, but it is big to our members. We recently secured an office space in BC Center for Student Success building. For the last several years, we've been operating out of the Levinson Hall swing space and mostly through Zoom, which a lot of us have. With many of the recent campus updates at BC, we recognized that there was a need for chapter 336 to have a home away from home, as you might say. So we partnered really closely with BC administration and district HR to secure a new office space in the CSS building, which flanks a beautiful hum of student activity with Trio and other departments in that area. So it's really very much an ideal space for us. It's really made a huge impact on our classified members. And not only are we calling this our new home, but we also have a place where we can meet with our members, where we can hold our chapter meetings, and where our chapter executive board can come together and really do that incredible work of representing and supporting our classified members. So I wanted to send a really big thank you to BC Executive Administration and especially Associate Vice President Jessica Wojtaszek for all of their support. Jessica in particular was very instrumental in making that happen for us, and she partnered really close with us. So I very much appreciate that partnership. I wanted to give a small update on the BC Educational Master Plan. BC Vice President Billy Joe Rice has reconvened the steering group for the BC EMP, in which I represent classified folks from Bakersfield College. We're taking a closer look at our rural initiatives. This group is putting together kind of its powers. We're combining forces on this group to kind of highlight Bakersfield College and how it has taken the lead in embracing the craving really for education in our rural areas and our communities, our other communities. We're focusing on highlighting many initiatives like the recent opening of the 39,000 square foot Delano Learning Center, which is amazing. Our close partnerships with the Tahoe tribe to bring a college-going community culture to Arvin and Lamont. We're providing McFarland adult education with non-credit courses in child development and EMLS. And BC's work in reopening the Shafter Library, the expansion of the BC Nexus Pantry with the mobile snack station in Wasco. I could go on and on and on, but obviously there's a lot happening in our rural initiatives. And so being able to highlight that in the EMP is going to be really important for us presenting that to the board. So I want to send a really big thank you to Vice President Billy Joe Rice for making all of that possible and partnering with us to make sure that all voices are heard in that particular important document. And I'm going to end with a highlight that I have this month for one of our classified. I'm calling this section "We Are Essential" because I want to highlight our classified employees because we are essential. We've got a little cute pin that shows that as well. I didn't wear it with me today, but we have one. So if you see that, you'll know exactly what that means. This month, I am highlighting the Department Assistant for BC Food Services, Regina Rivera. Some of you may know her. Over the years, I guess as many of us do when we joined BC or KCCD, we kind of hit the ground running, sometimes literally, right? Regina started at BC in 2019, and she absolutely went full steam ahead. And in just 4 years, she's worked with about 5 different managers. She's helped her staff cater and provide services for probably over hundreds of events, many at a high level, like a board of trustees meeting that we might have at Bakersfield College, large conferences, and a ton of countless like intimate engagements at BC. I've been really impressed with her ability to hold people to task and also advocate for her own needs. She often steps in to assist with other teams in her department and with their tasks. And I think that really creates a sense of community and camaraderie and purpose for what she does in that particular department. Most recently, I am serving on the 2023-24 KCCD Leadership Academy, and she serves on that group as well. The thing I have noticed in that group is whenever BC's food services team comes to cater for that team, she is right there helping them with anything that they need, which I just think is amazing. And it speaks to the work that we do at KCCD. Those little things really, really do matter. So for this month, I am honoring Regina. I just want to say thank you for all that you do. She is one of our We Are Essential classified members of this month. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a good October and happy spooky season.
Thank you. Anyone else from classified? Not, we'll move on to Management Association reports.
Good afternoon, trustees, chancellor. My name is Bonita Steele. I'm the president of the Kern CCD Management Association, and I'll be presenting this month's report. First, it is my pleasure to let you all know that the Professional Development Scholarship has been revised and is now open for our members to submit their applications. We're still working on the new manager's toolkit, and I want to extend thanks to Vice Chancellor Eva Ali for his staff support of that project. On September 27th, Joe Grubbs presented a lunch and learn session on safety first, which was very well attended, and quite a bit of post-session videos and additional information was provided after the session. On the 19th, Matthew Scott of CISC will be presenting on office ergonomics. And we are still in the process of confirming our November speaker, so more on that. The planning has begun on our third annual symposium that has tentatively been set for May 16th. And I have several other items of recognition that I'd like to note. First, I'd like to thank trustees Nan Gomez Heitzberg and Giovanni Jimenez for representing Kern CCD at the state and national levels. Thank you. I also want to recognize Dr. Claudia Habib from Porterville College for becoming an Aspen Institute College Excellence Fellow. And in addition to that, we are so fortunate to have 2 visiting chancellors being sent up to the state chancellor's office. Of course, Dr. Craig Hayworth is there. And as we just heard today, Michelle Smith is also going to join the state chancellor's office. Finally, I want to recognize our October Manager of the Month. This is one of our most dynamic and incredibly important employees. He has single-handedly changed our use of social media to promote our programs at a time when really we weren't doing too much of that. And so some of you may already know who this is, but I will reveal the surprise. So Carlos Medina, thank you so much. He is a program manager for industrial automation, apprenticeship, and student success at Bakersfield College. And you, sir, are our October Manager of the Month. You may have seen Carlos with Spot, which is no, not a, well, it is kind of a dog, but it's a robot dog. It's certainly the cutest thing I've ever seen. And he takes Spot pretty much everywhere. High school kids are just completely enamored. And while they may not have had any idea what industrial automation was, or even maybe hadn't known too much about what robotics is going to look like in the future, when they see Spot, they suddenly get a whole new appreciation for what is possible for their futures. So thank you, Carlos Medina. And I want to also note that Leo Ocampo and Tony Cordova were the ones who brought this nomination forward. And I want to say again, thank you, Carlos, for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you. College reports.
Chancellor Burke, President Agbalog, trustees, good afternoon. I think after you read the PC update and with the amazing report from our academic senate, there's not much left for me to say, but you get a very good idea on how busy PC is at this time of the year. So I will just make a few remarks, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun on making this comment, but I really want to congratulate KCCD, Chancellor Burke, for your leadership, for the National ACCT Award that was announced. I saw it on Twitter and we talked about it a little bit. An award on equity for the dual enrollment on rural communities. And this is very significant because it highlights the work that we've been doing for years. And it also highlights for me that it is possible to do equity work that makes a difference in our students, and we're doing it. And that is very significant. Also, congratulations to Trustee Gomez Heitzberg. I think you were also recognized at the conference, and you're also presenting at many instances about the role of the trustee and the partnership with the CEO. And that was standing room only, as I saw on Twitter. Thank you, trustees, Trustee Corkins, Trustee Jimenez, Chancellor Burke, and all my colleagues from the district who attended the State of the College breakfast that we did on September 19th. over 150 people attended, and we received very positive feedback from our community and from our industry partners. I would also like to express my gratitude to Trustee Jimenez for working with our students, taking part on the Student Life Project for Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and working with Student Life, in particular, the TikTok team and Student Life Instagram. You can actually watch the video if you access the electronic PC update. There's a link there. Also, I'd like to express my gratitude to my exec team, to Chancellor Burke, my colleagues from the district for their support while I took a quite nice vacation for a couple weeks. And it's that kind of support and collegiality that allows us to take that time off. So I'm very grateful for that. That concludes my report. I will just mention, as an FYI, we will participate in the Great National Shakeout on Thursday. So our emergency system will be tested on Thursday at 10:16 a.m., I believe. So just so you know, in case you hear, it's just a test for our alarm system in case of an earthquake. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Good afternoon again, Board of Trustees, President Agmalog and Chancellor Burke. I want to first congratulate Carlos Medina for being recognized for the Administrator of the Month. I have seen Spot all over the community, different events, so I just want to recognize him as well. Thank you. As we step into the autumn season, I am delighted to share with you the incredible energy and enthusiasm that has filled our campus during the past month. As I left the campus today, there was 15 students just literally throwing the frisbee and having fun. So there's a lot of energy on campus. September has been a remarkable time of celebration, education, and appreciation as we mark Hispanic Heritage Month. The rich tapestry of Hispanic and Latinx cultures have been woven into the fabric of our campus community, reminding us of the diversity and the strength that unites us as a learning institution. I was honored to see many of you in attendance at various events. On September 14th, Bakersfield College was represented at the Kern Economic Development Corporation's 35th annual dinner with Chancellor Burke in attendance. Trustee Yvonne Jimenez joined our community to cheer on the Renegade women at their soccer game against Santa Monica on October 3rd. On October 5th, we celebrated the one-year anniversary of C-Rail at Bakersfield College with Chancellor Burke and Trustee Nan Gomez-Heisberg. Thank you for attending. On the 6th, we honored the newest graduating cohort of the BC Project Power Up, a program that changes lives in just a short few weeks through the empowerment of education. Leaders of Bakersfield College joined me at the Bounty of Kern County event hosted by the Kern County Farm Bureau on October 7th. The evening celebrated the achievements of local agriculture, including contributions to the community and our locally grown foods. Last week, on October 10th, BC's Padrinos held a community breakfast in recognition of the contributions of the Latino community, the meaningful impacts it has on our students and institutions. And last week, BC was joined by the California Community Colleges system for Undocumented Student Action Week in an effort to advocate and provide services for documented students throughout our system. That's happening this week. There's much more that's planned for the next few weeks. On October 20th, Bakersfield College campus will be flooded with high school students attending Manufacturing Day and Agriculture Day. Both these events will give opportunities for local youth to explore pathways for their future at Bakersfield College. The Renegade Promenade and the Alumni Barbecue is back on October 21st. I've been waiting for this day for such a long time, and I'm eager that the community, our campus, and our BC families will be able to come together and celebrate homecoming. I've heard the barbecue is going to be, it was good, and I guess it will be really good on that day. And plus, we've got a wonderful football game that we're going to beat Moore Park. I know we are. On November 8th, I will be hosting an insightful panel discussion titled Stories of Hope and Redemption. And I'll just say Stories of Hope and Redemption. Panel event featuring formerly incarcerated entrepreneurs in our community. Our guests will share their stories of rising above their history to write a new future. And if you're not doing anything, I would love to invite you to be part of that. But as we reflect on the enriching experiences of the past month, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of those who have dedicated their time, creativity, and efforts to make Hispanic Heritage Month a resounding success. Thank you, trustees, Chancellor Berg, and the Kern Community College District for being a part of this incredible journey and for contributing to the tapestry of our diverse and vibrant community at Bakersfield College. That completes my report. Thank you very much.
President Agbalog, trustees, Chancellor Burke. You have my written report. I just have a couple of additions. First, I just want to echo congratulations and pride in Trustee Nan Gozen's Heitzberg and to KCCD in general for the awards as recognized ACCT. I really wanted to highlight today, the last Friday I received word that the Chancellor's Office was pleased to announce that Saracoso Community College's proposed bachelor degree program in cybersecurity technology has been granted provisional approval status. The readers rated the program very high, and so we're really excited. So where are we at right now? So that means that we passed the CCCO program quality review, the legislative requirements. It has ACC-JC approval. Now we have to go for, it's pending the intersegmental program duplication review, which is no surprise given that the CSUs have been pushing back a little bit on a number of the applications for baccalaureate degree programs, but we're hopeful. San Diego City College had a cybersecurity program that was approved. Moore Park has one in the queue, and now we do. And so that was really exciting news. I've been waiting to find out. Supposedly that's going to go, hopefully it's a 30-day process for the intersegmental review. And then after that, it goes back to the board of governors. I do want to thank Professor Valerie Carnes, who has been our faculty champion for this program, and with the help of Professor Paul Cuttig. They worked very closely with a number of professionals at the China Lake, Naval Base and in developing this program. So we're very proud of it. Dean Nicole Griffin, Vice President Corey Marvin, also for shepherding through the process and getting this submitted. And of course, Todd Costa and Liz Rosell and Anthony Cordova for their support throughout putting that application together. So just really excited for that next step. What a way to celebrate 50 years if we can get this through. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Will. Chancellor Burke.
Thank you. Been a busy month. First, I want to start off with thanking 3 presidents for attending with me at the 35th Kern Economic Development Corporation dinner meeting. We were all acknowledged at the dinner meeting, and thank you for pointing me. Also attended the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Accessibility Conference that was put on by the State Chancellor's Office, San Diego this month. Executive Vice Chancellor Daisy Gonzalez was lead on that, but the district's former chancellor and the current state chancellor was in attendance as well. A chance to catch up with everything. Attended also the 1-year anniversary of CRO. President Walken, thank you. Nice event. Also was able to attend the Porterville College State of the College event. President Habib, thank you. Very good event. Well. And I also attended the ribbon cutting, the opening of the multipurpose learning center building at Center. That was a very nice ceremony. That building has been in development for a long time. So anyway, finally, I'd like to congratulate Regina Rivera being awarded the outstanding classified employee. Also like to congratulate Carlos Medina. And finally, I'd like to congratulate President Claudia Beebe. Inaugural. Asking President.
Thank you, Chancellor Berg. Next up, Board of Trustees report and inquiries, and I'll start with our student trustee. Thank you. Trustee Scriven.
Devin Kern.
Trustee.
We had two women athletic.
Trustee Corkins.
Yeah, I would echo the same thing as trustee Meek. I was going to ask Chancellor Ali. I know that you're moving on this, but I think we need to make sure we hear where it's going and President Watkins. I just don't think this needs to go any further. This needs to get resolved, right?
Thank you. Trustee Gomez Heights.
You know, all three of our colleges are Hispanic serving institutions. And what gives me hope and faith for our students is that I know it's more than just a designation. It's more than a label. All of you really take to heart the idea of creating a welcoming, safe learning environment for our students. And I think it's especially important at a time when at different parts of the nation, as we discovered at the national conference and even within our own community, there's a divisiveness and a negativity that's out there. But our students, when they walk onto our campus, should know by your behaviors and your values, that they are there for a purpose, and we're going to support them to achieve their goals. I don't know how many of you in the room are part of the First Nation, any one of the First Nations in what we call the United States. But most of us are immigrants. Our family came from somewhere. And I just think today about this week that is Dreamers Week, our DACA Students Week, that it's a good time to remember where we all came from and why it's important to support people who may not look like us and may not talk like us, but they're here for the same reason. They want to be part of the American dream. So I want to thank you for all that you do for those students.
Trustee Carter. Trustee Jimenez.
Well, it has been a really busy month for me too. I started my month by going to the Porterville State of the College. I was really happy to see how the community came together in support of Porterville College and how supportive the community is of the college and learning more about the college. So thank you, Dr. Habib, for organizing that event. Right after I went to the Delano ribbon cutting. After that, I had to go back to my responsibilities, go to work. After work, I had to go to school because I'm in the master's program. So my day started like at 5 in the morning and ended like at 11 p.m. So I also want to acknowledge that we had Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15 to October 15. And I was really happy to see the different activities that our colleges had. I followed the 3 colleges on social media, and it seems that all the activities were successful. We had a lot of students and staff engaged in the activities that we had for Hispanic Heritage Month. So that showed that if we put out events, the students and the community and our staff will come to the events to support it. Also attended the ECCT conference where we received the Pacific and the National Equity Award for the work that we have been doing in early college and dual enrollment, making college accessible to everyone starting at the 9th grade. And I know that's a program that many people were involved in, including our current chancellor of the state, Dr. Sonia Christian, and also our president of Bakersfield College, Steve Watkins. So that's, I'm sure for you and for everyone, it's really amazing to see those seeds that you planted grow into a beautiful tree. And what an amazing way to see it at the national conference and being recognized. Also, I also attended the Bakersfield College women's soccer game against Santa Barbara, and it was we lost, but it was a really great game. It was really amazing to see how determined and how hardworking the girls were in playing the game. So I will also want to echo trustees Carkins and make comments and want to see the results of the investigations of what's going on, because I think that's really important for the college and for everyone. And, well, I'm going to end on saying this, like Bakersfield College is the community college. It's a place where everyone feels welcome and respected, and we have to keep it that way. We have to make sure that our students, our staff, and everyone that walks into our campuses feels welcome and respected. And I just remember one last thing. So during the conference, we were able to go see our Bakersfield College Puerto Rico Ritmo Sabor dance in a national competition, and we're able to bring home 3 awards. So that's amazing to see a club that represents Bakersfield College at a national competition win awards. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Trustee Jimenez. I'll conclude by just saying congratulations to all the individuals who were recognized this afternoon and for all their hard work on behalf of our students in our individual colleges. I also like to take a moment to recognize Carl Bowser and his contributions to not just the Bakersfield College community, but the community at large. I think it's very fitting to name a weight room and new building after him. And it's a very meaningful thing for not just his family, but for all of us who are affiliated with Bakersfield College and Bakersfield as a community to honor him in that way. I echo the sentiments of my fellow members of the board. That in the issues, this isn't the first time that we've heard about some issues in the women's athletic department. We had concerns raised at our last board meeting, and so I'm eager to hear a report back on, the progress or how these issues are being addressed. And hope to get that soon, certainly by the next meeting, if not sooner. And also echoing Trustee Gomez Heitzberg, I think it's disappointing sometimes to hear folks, bring to our attention things that people say that can sometimes be offensive. I think it's important to recognize that individuals who make comments are taking responsibility for those comments, and that what they say doesn't necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of the colleges, the district, or the trustees individually. And I think it's important, when things like this come up, that we challenge people to recenter and recalibrate their focus back on student success in creating and fostering an environment where students can be successful, where they feel safe, where they feel welcome, and they're respected. So I will conclude with that, and lastly say, well, one more thing about ACCT. A lot of things were said about ACCT, but I'll add something. I had the opportunity to attend the ACCT conference, and I'll tell you that there are plenty of sessions, and this is probably the second time that I've attended my entire tenure as a trustee. And one of the things that I take away is that, I don't know, I think my other colleagues will agree with me, is that the topics that are discussed at ACCT are interesting, but it's always pleasing to me to walk away knowing that the things that are being talked about are things that we've already addressed here at home, and that we're further along than everyone else with regards to specific topic. We had an opportunity to present on the Pathway Program Mapper. It's a tool that we utilize here in our district, BC and others, our other campuses as well. And to listen to the engagement of individuals, 50% or more of the people who attended asked questions and intrigued. And a lot of them from California, wanting to know how we created a GPS for how to get students to complete their degree or move on to their goals. I think that's a really nice thing. Then to go out and get recognized on, our work with dual enrollment early college. To us, this is something that we just do. We don't know how to try, we just do it. But to get pulled aside, by trustees from other areas of the country to pat us on the back and ask us how we cracked the code is very refreshing. It's proud. And I got to tell you, we accepted this award on behalf of the district. We accepted it on behalf of you. Because you are the folks, you're the rubber who meets the road. You're the ones who interact with these students daily. And without your efforts, these awards in front of me today wouldn't be here. So I want to thank all of you for all that you do on behalf of our students in our district. So with that, we'll conclude or hereby adjourned.
It was a short meeting today.